a lot of loud atmosphere and for people to have fun. So I know that here we have to be respectful, be quiet, but if we can find a way where people can express what they are feeling, and so I think that I'm going against the traditional people, but I'm trying to put my point of view from the outside. Just you can think about it.
Perhaps slowly we can chip away at those barriers, right, and break them down. Now, just a couple days ago, in mentioning some of these other massive sports, you can call out basketball. We brought in a bunch of NBA players who are all familiar with chess. What's your experience in the football world? Is chess as pervasive between players in your world?
There are some of them that they play, obviously the level is not good, but at the end of the day, I think it makes you move your brain, it makes you really think about different strategies and how you move. And I think it's good for soccer, for football, when you go and you have to be very focused, very concentrated on the game, or what's happening around tomorrow or in a couple of days. The fact that you can activate your brain doing other sports or activities like chess.
Well, in our festival, we had Quentin Bosch who sort of dominated it. He won the Blitz there. Is there a footballer that comes to your mind who you know in your personal experience, who loves the game or perhaps gets some chess in as part of the mental training?
Not that I know in Barca in my team, because we were playing poker, for example, or we were playing Parchís, which is a Spanish game. But I remember when I was a kid, I used to play with my coach, and he teach me a little bit about chess and different strategies. Because at the end of the day, you have to go with laws, hours of or planes, and if you have right now everything is with tablets and it's much quicker, but at that time I remember that we bring the table and the pieces and we play there, and you have an amazing time.
Jan, if I could turn a question back to you, just maybe your reaction to the growing roster of support that freestyle chess has found from endemic and traditional sports. Again, citing all of these NBA players, Derrick Rose, of course, being the preeminent figure there in connection to freestyle chess, but now Gerard Piqué as well. I mean, just to have all of these massive names, come in and say, no, this is the right direction. This is an exciting direction to be pushing chess.
Yes, I mean, we are a baby company. I mean, we exist since 5 months, right? So basically, our first event was in February at Weissenhaus, Grand Slam this year. Of course, we had the pre-event in Singapore in November, and then we had the Paris Grand Slam, and then we had Karlsruhe with 3,000 chess players at the same time. Now here, first of all, with the spectators. And what we also are so happy about is crossover between chess and basketball, what we have done a few days ago with Derek and all his friends. Is a fantastic thing. You see that what also excited me is how happy Magnus was, for example. Like, he was in his element. Like, he was really up. He really, it was the first time that I felt that he owned the company. But he was with the basketball. He was explaining like the position and so on, and he was spending much more time than he usually would have done. And as he is such a sports fan also, I'd like to see the same. Maybe we can do something with Kings League, maybe we can do something with some great soccer players, bringing them together with the chess players. We have this hand format where we have all the great chess players, and they have formed even friendships, like with top basketball player, top chess player on the team, like even with Judith Polgar, and so on. So it's this is perfect. Of course, we are also in the meantime doing something with tennis. I even heard David heard that Andy Murray is following you. I've heard, and even Magnus. So maybe as we are looking forward to do something, maybe in Australian Open in January, maybe we do something with it. And I think that Alcaraz also is very good chess player. So maybe we do something in the tennis world, of course with golf, because Magnus is a big golf fan and so on. So we try to do this not only to kind of get the Magnus and the other players together with the sports people, but of course we are a marketing company. We want to have the fans. So we want to have the fans of Gerard be interested in our league, right? In our freestyle. We want to have the fans of Derek and all these people say, oh, if Derek does this, well, it must be interesting. So let's follow this, and we add to our audience.
And speaking to your point about just watching Magnus on the stage, just glowing, for the entire event through basketball, Gerard, I think that to me kind of speaks to this shared respect between top level competitors, knowing what it takes to get to the top of your field. But how that, to a degree, feels maybe like a shift to me in seen some number of years where of old maybe there was some tribalism between different sports, you know. I'm good at what I do, you're good at what I do, and this is really trying to take two worlds and smash them together and find those unique similarities. Well, maybe yes, yours is a more physical, you know, representation of eliteness, that there can still be this incredible respect for what it has taken to get to your level and what it takes to become the best chess player in the world.
Yeah, for sure. These crossovers right now are working very good. And at the end of the day, we're talking about winning and about having respect for the other and about having a strategy to at the end of the day, fight to win the game. And this happens in all sports, no matter what, it's football, basketball, or chess. So at the end of the day, you really respect the others because you know how difficult and how the amount of sacrifice that you have to do in order to arrive to the top. It doesn't matter which sport. So the fact that I spent some time here and I see, as I said before, the first time I see it live and it's a completely different experience. It's very fun to watch.
The Kings League, freestyle chess, these being disruptors, and one of the cool things about freestyle chess is what we see here, right? The players get this opportunity to actually sit and talk to each other, discuss for the first few minutes this new position that they've never seen before that they have to go play. And to me, it feels like there's this camaraderie that gets formed, and it's sort of like the locker room talk right before you go on the football pitch, where you feel like you discuss these ideas and just how important that is.
No, it's. I mean, in our locker room, it's very, very important. I assume that here it's the same. But this is one of the things that freestyle chess, I think, that is doing differently from more traditional chess, and it's. Although it's very difficult to follow the conversation because at the end of the day, they obviously they talk very technically and the positions. Sometimes you get lost if you don't manage much, but you can see how they try to manage to start the game and try to get the better position, and they find they try different ways of doing it, and then I was checking because you have the 8 games at the same time on the screen, that most of the players are doing the same, obviously with different small little difference, but at the end of the day, most of the positions, most of the pieces are in the same places, means that they are going in that direction that we discussed before.
Yeah, we have what I really like about this. I mean, this is something that only works because of freestyle chess. Because in a normal chess position, the players are preparing like everybody's like really bored about. You have to then learn the lines by heart. Okay, against this player, this, and then everybody's to himself. And here you have this community aspect. And we have like the white table where all the players with the white pieces are, and the black table where all the pieces. So you have this team effort kind of just for a moment. You know, all of these are huge competitors, and they really, you know, like I saw like Magnus won against Vincent, and then next day, next move they sit together at a table, try to strategize how to we as a white team or the black team or whatever win or make a great trap for the other one. I think this is also what I enjoy very much when we have part of our whole concept of the company is like this Hatter Club atmosphere, you know, that we have these dinners together, and then you see like they have these huge fights. Like I remember in the first Grand Slam in Weissenhaus, there was this incredible fight between Fabi and Levon, like we went to Armageddon and so on, and they were literally like playing, and then half an hour later they sat at the table and they played a little other game, and so this really fierce. I think, and I'm sure you have the same like with maybe your soccer players where you are in one team but then you're playing together a national team, and so somewhere you have these rivalries, but on the other hand you have a friendship at the same time. Right?
Yeah, you understand that, but sometimes you play the same club, but then for the national team you have to face each other in the final of the World Cup.
Yeah.
And it's what it is, it's part of the game. You know the other player much better because you share a dressing room every weekend, but at that time you have to share all the information you can with all your teammates of the national team because you want to beat them. So it's more or less similar to understand.
Yeah, for us, I mean, I'm also outside the chess world. I have nothing to do with chess like 2 years ago, but I just started this because I thought it was a great idea to use all of the potential of all these players, these interested people, like 700 million people play chess in the world. But what it's here, when I watched the chess tournaments before, it was basically they play chess, and then somebody wins, okay, bye, and then they leave, and then everybody goes to whatever, McDonald's or whatever, and then the next day they're, and so we are basically, I think it's the first tournament, I mean, you are much more like into the tournament, first tournament where we are really trying to have this community aspect, that it's okay, we have the dinners all together, of course, it's of course also important for our VIPs and investors and whatever to be able to meet the players and so on. So yeah, we are very new to this, which is of course very like for decades, like in soccer, of course.
Now that you mentioned this, one of the things that I would try to change is that it's not possible to resign. You have to play until the end, and because if not, it's also tough for the spectator because all of a sudden you are trying to follow and they shake hands. That's it. It's like, well, what's happening here? It's not done. So most of the sports they teach you that you have to fight at the end. It's the last second. I can imagine that when they resign is because they have absolutely nothing to do. But in my opinion, they should play until there is the end. To resign, I don't see it very sports.
It's a very interesting. Yeah, it's a very interesting thing because it's also like when we are talking a lot about this. And this community student we have started here. We have also developed, I mean, it's now the fourth time that we are doing this all together. I mean, we have, of course, David is the best British chess player currently, so he's a really expert, right? Tanya is a very fantastic Indian chess player, but also very much known in the commentary world. Then we brought in James Ash from League of Legends, who has nothing to do with chess. And then, so the first thing, after the first Grand Slam, I said, you know, let's get rid of the R2D2 talk, right? It's like a king to E2 or whatever, like because as a non-knowledgeable chess person who's like, okay, he's following and then they follow to the next and you feel like checked out already. So we are very open to these ideas and we are talking also to the players if we think maybe because let's just take this little and then I think we should go back to the hall, but let's take this one example. What does it mean basically? If you would say play to the end, is it like for the players it's like okay, just is it another 3 or 4 moves, or is it basically maybe sometimes it carries on for a long time? Say if you say you are not allowed to resign, you have to play it to really make it.
I love it. I mean, in no other sport it happens. And speaking of first in Vegas, I know we're about to start. I'm going to disrupt the stream just a little bit. We're all such big fans of Major Art. I don't know if this is possible or not, but can we all get a photo of you in front of this desk? I don't know if this will be on camera, but this is a bit of a moment for us.
Yeah, forgive us. We're being selfish on air. Let's hand a phone off to somebody who's willing to